Harold Perrineau from Lost, Oz, and the hit show From answers your most popular fan questions. This is KJ Today, your positive vibes show with pop culture, people to know, and pets. If you enjoyed today's interview, please hit like and subscribe to KJ Today. Hi, Harold.
Hi, KJ.
Let me tell you something, Harold. I had no idea what I was in for when I told my followers yesterday that you were going to be on the show. You and I are basically family. Selena says hi.
Oh, yes, we are. That's right, KJ. That's right. They told me yesterday we were going to talk. What's up? That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, like they told me last night. I was like, and my wife, Brittany, who's Selena's cousin, which makes us cousins. They were talking to each other last night. So I've been waiting for this. That's right. So
cool.
Perfect.
Yes. Well, and we have a ton of questions about From. Obviously, this is a show that has a lot of questions around it. We have some questions about some of your other work, man. But first, if it's okay, I do want to talk a little bit about, because this is my show is a positive vibe show. We're always bringing the inspiration. And I did have several people say, like, can you ask Harold how he has done it, how he has been in such a, stressful, not super friendly industry, and yet succeeded so much. And then you're on Instagram and you're showing your girls growing up and you got a great family life. Like, can you give us to start off here, Harold, some wisdom, some insight?
I certainly wish I could, but I can't. No. I've been really fortunate for a lot of, there are a lot of great things in my life. My family, first and foremost. My family, including my wife and my brothers and my brothers, my father, my mom, like everybody's been pretty fantastic. And it's not without difficulties, but I've found that, if I participate in my life in the good parts and in the not so good parts, my life winds up being better. What I mean? Like not being just like a happy observer, like things just happen. Like I love being an actor, and I love learning about it and doing stuff and being part of it. I love being a dad, and I love being part of it and funding stuff. And even when they're like, my dad is ridiculous, I'm still there for it. I'm still in it. And so, for me, it's just like really trying to take a hold. Like I can't control everything, but I can be a participant, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's the thing that's helped me like really enjoy it when I'm like actually participating, when I'm going after stuff that I really love, that I dream about, that I don't know how I'm going to get there, figuring the puzzle of it out. Then when I am there, like still working on it and enjoying it. And if I don't, then being able to let go and move on to whatever the next thing is. And so that's kind of all I can say. Hopefully, the thing I don't ever want to say in my life is like, oh, they did this to me. Like, I don't ever want to say that because that's just not acceptable.
Well, thank you for that. I know that you've got, a daughter as well that is in the business, and I'm sure that she has appreciated that wisdom. You got to be awfully proud of Aurora.
I am proud of Aurora, and she has not appreciated the wisdom. She is like any other. She's like any other daughter. She's like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow.
She is doing so well, and I'm really, really happy for her. And she really loves the acting, and I'm sure. I'm joking about her not appreciating it. She really, really does. But like any parent and child, there's a whole bunch of kids who are like, you know what, acting is different now. It's just a different time. And I'm like, okay.
What do I know?
That's that normal struggle. Like, what do I know? You're right. But never mind.
Let's talk about what you do know, which is, what's coming in the season finale, season 2 of From.
I do.
And I know you can't share, but one of the first questions that I had, Pete wanted to know. He said, season 1, the finale was so insane. Do you feel like season 2 is going to hit that same level, that finale, that cliffhanger?
I will tell you this: when I read the season finale for season 2, I dropped the script. I picked up my phone and called John, the writer, and started cursing at him. Like, what the is happening here? It's just so, like, I was just screaming. He was like, Harold, hello, Harold, calm down. So good. So do I think it's going to hit the mark? Oh, I think it's going to obliterate the mark.
Wow.
I think the ending of season 2 is just, I think everybody's going to scream like I screamed. I'm just saying.
How much fun is it for you to be involved? I mean, obviously with so much of what you've done, there's been this fan following with, Lost and Oz and all of this. But does this show, do you feel like maybe with the intensity and with it being the horror genre, do you feel like it's like a new level for you that you're so invested in this show yourself?
Well, the only thing that's a bit of a new level for me is like being like the lead of the show. Quite often, I'm part of the cast of the show, and I'm part of this cast as well. But actually, sort of being the person who's sort of leading the way through the horror of it, Boyd Stevens is. It sort of gives me a different perspective of the show in a way that I didn't have before for many other shows, and so. For that, I'm really excited. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be the lead in the show, and there's just a great group of people that I get to work with who are really great storytellers. Like everybody in their own right, really good storytellers. The writers, the directors, the actors. We have an amazing crew out there in Halifax. Just people who are really interested in making sure every aspect of this is really good, and so. I'm really excited about it, and in a different way than I've been before. Yeah.
And you're talking about, the wonderful cast and crew. Did you guys know right from the beginning, that you were going to be on Sunday nights and be live chatting and be a part of everyone experiencing these episodes as they came out?
I didn't. When we first shot the show, when we first took the job, I loved the script. And like I said, I've said to many people, I knew that Jack Bender, who's our executive director, I know that Jack Bender knows how to tell a story. So those things going in there, you could have all the great things and still not come up with a great product, right? But when we saw the first episode, we were like, oh, wow, this is really fantastic. I hope the audiences like it as much as we do, but we know that there's so much stuff out there that you can watch anything all the time. There's so many different streaming networks and shows and all of this stuff. And we were looking for ways to just be like, it's a real personal journey for us. And so the idea of getting on and talking to people as the show has progressed really makes sense to me and to everybody else who's been on it, because it's like we're like this tiny little show that could, and we're like, yeah, watch our show. We'll watch it with you because we think it's worth watching. And so we didn't know at the beginning, but it seemed like a really cool thing to do. And then as the audience grew and as our family got tighter, that's what we call it, family. As it got tighter, it just suddenly felt like, we can't stop doing this because this is our crew. And so, yeah, we wound up watching it with people, and it feels like family. Like, how would you not hang out with your family? So, it feels like the right thing to do.
Well, I know Megan is one of those people who hangs out with you and watches. She was one of the first people to chime in and actually wanted to know, how does the Frumley family compare to some of those other fan bases, which, I'm wondering with Lost, you didn't really have as much of that social media connection, but can you make a comparison there?
The reason I can and can't is that the way that we can connect now is really different than the way that you could connect with Lost. And Lost, there wasn't, first of all, none of this Twitter, Instagram was around. And kind of the most you could do is get into chat rooms. And chat rooms at the time still were a little creepy for me. Chat rooms is where, people went in to try to meet girls or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's this is weird. Whatever's happening here is I don't want to be part of this. But communities started developing in that. And so I wasn't a part of it as much because I didn't really know. And so, by the time as From comes around, we're all communicating a little differently than we used to. And with social media, like you said, you're a positive show. Social media can be it can be a very tough place to be. It can get really, really negative. And so for me, when there's a thing that I really love and I'm really connected to, and I feel like I can be positive about it, I'm in to start talking about that. I'm in to get in and have real conversations and have fun and do all that stuff. And it's literally, it's in your pocket. Somebody is in my pocket, somebody be like, hey, I like your show. I'm like, oh, snap. Oh, hi, Megan. How are you? What's happening? I like the show too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I'm walking into the kitchen to get a coffee. So it's a different time. And I'm grateful for the family and what we actually all get to do together because it feels fun and positive. And every week, we're excited about talking about it. And then the next week, there's something new comes up. And so that part of it has been a real joy for me.
Do we know what is ahead for From? Is there filming or dates or anything?
So that is, we are expecting that. Look, the show is doing really, really well on MGM Plus, and our audience is growing all the time. But there is a writer's strike, and so everybody is appropriately cautious, right, about the next things. I can't imagine that we won't go back. I don't exactly know when we will go back because our writers can't come to the set. They can't bring scripts, and so we are waiting for that to all. To work its way, to work itself out. And I'm sure I have every belief that we are for sure going to do many more seasons. I just can't officially say it. That's the best way.
No, I appreciate you being able to give, some kind of answer. So thank you for that, Harold. Yeah. A couple of questions on other works that you've done. Sam wanted to know, he was a big fan of Oz and wanted to know if the poetry that you spoke on Oz was something that you wrote.
Oh, no, none of the poetry. I didn't write anything. There was some poetry. There was an actor who passed away, and so sorry to even have to say that. His name was Mums, and he would do some of his poetry, his actual poetry on the show, which is always spectacular. But mine all came out of, Tom Fontana's brilliant mind. I couldn't take any credit for any of the words that I spoke on Oz. That's all Tom Fontana.
And then we can't not talk about The Matrix. Demetrius wanted to know what it was like to be a part of that movie universe. And Ethan wanted to know, would you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Listen, I would go into The Matrix, no question, every time. So that's one. But being on the show, it took a little while for me to calm down and do the work because I was a fan of the first Matrix. And so the original one, I was just such a huge fanboy of it that, I had a hard time not being like, you guys, I'm on the Nebuchadnezzar. I know. Everybody relax. Everybody take it easy. I was so fanning out. They were always like, Harold, can we just say the lines? Yes, right, lines, got it. Let's go. not my job. Go, you do it. Go ahead, you go. I'll say it. I was so excited. That was just a little banana pants. Yeah, I really enjoy being part of the Matrix and filming there, and made some really great friends that are still part of my life today. So that's really cool.
It's always so much fun to hear that, someone that we would fan out about also has those fan moments, right?
I do, yeah. Fully.
Well, lots of people fanning out about From, obviously, and we will be anxiously awaiting this finale, which had you losing your mind.
Scream at me somewhere, Twitter, Instagram, because I'm telling you, you are going to scream at the end. Trust me. Yes. Trust
there
me.
will be screaming.
Yep.
What a tease. Well, it was absolutely fantastic to talk with you, Harold. Thank you so much. Tell Brittany I said hello, and you're welcome anytime on the show, and you're welcome at the family reunions, and we look forward to what's next for you.
Thanks, guys. I will tell her. And Sonny! What's up, Mom? Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Harold. Thank you.
All right. See you, kids.
Thanks for joining us for another celebrity interview. Of course, the KJ Today Show isn't just about talking to celebs. It's about hanging out with you. Join us live on Wednesday nights for pop culture, people to know, and pets. The KJ Today Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch live Wednesday nights at 7.